As a person who enjoys people watching, I had to smile when I read today's scripture lesson. One time when Jesus went for a Sabbath meal with one of the top leaders of the Pharisees, all the guests had their eyes on him, watching his every move. The invited guests are watching Jesus, maybe wondering, why is he here? Or watching for him to slip up, make some cultural or religious faux pas. Or maybe just watching, waiting to hear what Jesus had to say. So the invited guests are people watchers, watching Jesus' every move. In addition to the invited guests, we have Jesus, who was a people watcher. Jesus was watching those who have been invited. And he saw people elbowing their way to the good spots at the dinner, the places of honor. It was obvious to Jesus what was going on. While there were no nameplates at each chair, the invited guests were trying to make their way to the head table. They wanted to be up near the host of the party, not way in the back where you're not in the middle of the inner circle. Through Jesus' people watching, he could see that the actions of the guests mirrored their attitudes. They were not there to honor the host. They were there to get whatever they could for themselves. It was one of those get-ahead opportunities to be seen, to inch their way up the political, social, religious ladder. Their actions reflected their attitude. As a people watcher, Jesus is also looking beyond just the immediate scene. He's looking at the big picture. So, who is here at this dinner? Who's been invited? The invitation list is a reflection on the host. The host's actions reflects his attitude of who is important, who is to be worthy to be invited to my dinner. This wasn't the only time that Jesus was people watching. Throughout the Gospels, we find Jesus watching people. He watched to see who was eating with who was reaching out to help others, who was willing to put people first and then look at the religious law. He saw the poor widow give her mite in the offering container at the temple. He saw people being degraded because of their race, their religion, their gender. For Jesus, people watching was more than just a pastime, because Jesus was attuned to people. He knew their condition and knew their real need. Their actions and inactions painted a picture of who and what they value. Maybe you're a people watcher as well. But whether you watch people or not, the long and the short of the story is we are being watched. Our children and our grandchildren are watching for signs of what is really important in life. They are watching and listening. How many of us have experienced a child saying something, let's just say, inappropriate? And we know that they heard it from some adult in their life. They learn how to treat other people, especially people different than themselves, by watching us. Yes, children are listening and watching. Our neighbors and our colleagues are watching to see if being a Christian really translates into anything of significance? Or is it more like a club that you belong to? Maybe even a place that shuts others out. They're watching and waiting to see if this is a private party or if we will invite them to come and see how faith can transform their lives. We are being watched. Our actions and inaction makes a difference in God's realm. Whether we reach out to feed the hungry makes a difference. Sure, some people try to rationalize their inaction. They say things like, well, why should I help feed some folks who don't even look for work? Or they say, how do I know who is getting this food? Or some might even say, are the people getting the food Christians? Jesus teaches us. Jesus shows us that our questions and doubts are not what matters. What matters is our action. Are we reaching out to serve all God's people? How uplifting, how faith-affirming it is to generously live out our faith. What a difference our faith-filled actions make, not just for us, but for all God's people.